The bar tried to take my real driver's license. I'm having deja vu telling this story. Back when I was up at BG, Tiki took my real driver's license, snapped it, had to call the cops. They snapped his fucking real ID to get it back. A few years passed. I got my new driver's license, graduated from college. I gave my little brother the creased ID. He's a freshman at UK. This is for the family and help out my boy getting in and out of the bars that he needs to. So a few weekends ago, we're back up in BG for a family reunion. I love Bowling Green, Ohio. I've said that from the beginning. I went to school there, grew up there. Great town, great community. After our family reunion, I was up in Perrysburg with my buddy Sean.
No Flag City, baby!
We were catching up, having a few drinks. I get a text from my little brother that he ended up out in BG with my cousin. So I'm like, oh man, I'll Uber down there and go out with them. That'll be a good time. Because in the summertime, Tiki's like the only bar to go to anyway. So why wouldn't I want to hang out with my little brother and cousin? A little family reunion action. Full circle moment with my brother using my creased ID at Tiki. So I'm in the Uber on the way down, probably like 5-10 minutes out of BG, and I get a call from my brother. They took your ID. They took your ID. And I'm like, deja vu moment, right? Because I've been in that position at that same bar. So I'm like, what the you I'm on the way right now. Because there's nothing he can do. Technically speaking, he was in the wrong for using my driver's license. But in the same breath, it's a real driver's license. I've used my student ID. I've used my damn McLovin ID to get drinks in Bowling Green, Ohio. Like, it's the most lax place. So I know it's some college kid trying to be a hard ass, takes my brother's ID. Yes, I know it's wrong, but let's be real here. We all know that there ain't nobody, I would say probably 50% of the people in BG are using somebody else's ID. So I fly out of this Uber, get out, there's a line, I'm pissed, right? I'm hot. I'm like, son of a bitch, I gotta get in there. Because, first of all, I'm mad that they took my ID, but I'm also pissed at my little brother because I told him when I gave him this, I'm like, I'm gonna frame this shit someday because of how funny that story is. So you do not lose that ID. And I had just taken my photos for my new driver's license, to get it renewed and stuff because they're changing it to the real ID shit now. So I was literally about to give my brother another driver's license to get my creased one back. Fly up, there's like a 20-person line. I'm like, son of a bitch. So all the BG kids will know this. There's an alleyway. Tiki and Liquid are two bars. They're two bars in one building. So Tiki's basically the back porch of Liquid. I'm like, I'm not waiting. I run around back. The Tiki entrance is closed, but the gate for the fence around it is open. Well, it's probably like a 5 or 6 foot climb up this fence, and then you got to duck under some barbed wire. But I'm like, at this point, I'm on a mission, right? I'm like, I'm not losing that driver's license to the very bar that messed it up in the first place. I'm pissed. I walk through the gate, climb up the fence of Tiki, and I'm holding myself up, peeking in right below the barbed wire because I'm like, okay, could I squeeze through between the fence and the barbed wire? And is there anyone looking when I literally drop in this bar? Peek up real quick, look in, don't see anyone paying attention. So I'm like, all right, here's my chance. So I duck under the barbed wire, shimmy in between the barbed wire and the fence, whip myself around, drop down right next to this group of kids sitting at this corner table. I drop in. This kid goes, talks with Tom. And he said he followed my TikTok page. So I'm like, what's up, man? And we like dab each other. He takes a quick selfie with me. I beeline for the bar to get my ID, but that was so funny. My cousin was friends with the kid who took my brother's ID, so he ended up getting my ID back for my brother. But oh man, and that's so funny about like the ID stuff in college towns. Like I'm telling you, I've used everything from my McLovin ID to my student ID. One time I even got into the bar with a Kroger card because they gave me credit for creativity. So that's probably one of the most enjoyable things about college is just all the different ways to get into bars. And I didn't even use a fake ID. Right? I don't think it's very common anymore where you can get into a bar at 18 as long as you pay the $5 and then you get a stamp instead of a wristband, like that type of system. And I think BG still does that at most of their bars. But it's just so many funny memories of the different creative ways of getting into a bar. And even at 25, I guess I threw it back to my BG Falcon days when I saw the line because I'm like, no way I'm waiting in this line and missing the chance to get my freaking ID back. It was great because the whole thing we went up there for was for a family reunion, so we were going to stay at a hotel in Perrysburg with my parents, and then me and my brother ended up crashing at our cousin's house after going out with us. So it was just a funny thing. Like I said, In all seriousness, someday I probably will live in Bowling Green, Ohio. I just love that place, love the town, love the community, and and those are the type of stories that you can just get away with in BG. It's such a full circle moment that my brother got the exact ID that I got back from there taken. Like I said, man, I can't tell you how many different IDs I used to get into the bars before I was 21 at BG, and none of them were ever me until until I was 22. And by the time I actually was of age, that's when my driver's license gets taken. So you can't make that stuff up. It's just great memory. I hope I have kids that go to college in BG. So so that's the story. Like I said, obviously I get it that it's illegal that my brother was using my ID, but let's be real. Using your older sibling's ID is like the least sketchy thing to do in today's world when it comes to the fake IDs that kids use to get into bars. So that I was so fired up. I was so fired up. I was ready to go in there and make a scene about getting my ID back because it would have actually been me. You know what I'm saying? Great family memory. You can't make that stuff up. So that's today's episode. Hope everyone's well. And if you use an older sibling's ID to get into places, you best be making sure that you know the information. That's one thing about my brother. I'll give him credit. He knows the backstory on my driver's license. He knows all my essential information, and it has gotten him into just about every bar down there in Lexington. And that's the great part, right? Like, it's completely snapped in half. Like, it's the sketchiest ID ever, but it works in Kentucky because it's a real Kentucky driver's license. So those are the fun. And then that's actually another fun thing. Like, I think everyone knows. I mean, I'm the oldest, so I was kind of first. I was the experiment, right? But my brother, now that he's in college, geez, between me and my sister, he knows the drill. He knows the system. So I'm pretty sure he's been able to finesse and finagle his way through his freshman year. And we got a lot of good stories about it that I can't wait to share on here someday. So that's today's episode. Shout out to fam. Always a great time with my family. And yeah, talks with Tom.
Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street getting paid, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. All right.